health investment. Finally, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I wish us a successful deliberation and outcome of this event. Thank you and God bless. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, our brand new Minister of State, can we please give him a very loud round of applause? Thank you, sir. She has been Deputy Governor. She has been Director in the field of public health, a specialist, a calm achiever, and today she sits on the chair of the Senate Committee for Health. Very distinguished Excellency, our next speaker for now, our Senator. This morning I'll say, my woman in red. Please welcome with me Senator Banigo Ipalibo Harry, Chairperson, Senate Committee on Health.
Thank you very much. All right. Your Excellencies, special guest of honor, royal fathers, honorable ministers, honorable commissioners of health, our development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. Indeed, it's a great honor for me, a great privilege that I'm invited to make this special remark. As the Senate Chairman of the Committee on Health, Secondary and Tertiary Services of the 10th National Assembly. First of all, let me congratulate the Honorable Minister, the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, for this very first joint annual review of the Nigeria health sector in our march towards the universal health coverage for Nigerians. I'm delighted that this is taking place for us to be able to find out in the last 15 months of our service and sector-wide approach, what has actually worked, what doesn't work, and what we can do better and how we can do it better. And so the review of the compact that was signed last year, where the President in his great vision for a renewed hope for Nigeria was present at this pact, at this compact, and all the honorable commissioners were there, and the state governors, of the 36 states and FCT were there and signed to this compact. It's important for us to review, to promote peer review, and find out whether we have made any progress at all. And if we haven't, why? And what should we now begin to do, and to do it better? For us in the National Assembly, we want to say that we are quite excited about this accountability framework, because this is accountability at all levels for everybody. Stakeholders, governments, politicians, community people, is accountability. And I'm happy that there is going to be a revised accountability framework which will enhance measurable outcomes, so that when we go on our oversights, we're planning to always doing very robust oversights. We can be able to actually identify where the problems are and what we need to do about it. I also want to congratulate the Honorable Minister and his team for the effective use of our Vulnerable Group Fund. That was the first time appropriated in our budget for 2024, and to congratulate them for all the free operations that have been done for the obstetric fistula for our women, so that our women who suffer from this very preventable obstetric fistula can receive care free of charge, because it's paid for by the VGF, and they can also receive rehabilitation. I personally visited the fistula hospital in Ningi in Bauchi State, and I saw what was happening there. And I'm happy that we begin to see that that what has been appropriated is being utilized appropriately. And that tells us that in the next budget, more funds should be allocated for VGF and used appropriately. And we are very pleased in the Joint Health Committee in the National Assembly on your push for the revitalization and strengthening of primary health centers. Because we know primary health care is still the cornerstone of our health services, and we need to make sure that funds that are engaged there are utilized, are seen to be utilized, and get the gains and the outcomes that we are looking to. And so generally, in the National Assembly, in the Health Committee, we are committed to supporting the health policies of the renewed renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, the President, and being driven by the Honorable Minister for Coordinating and Social Welfare, Ministry of Health, and the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, and his team. We are determined to support the policies, and to support it with not just with our words, but with our backing, with the budgets. And so we hope that this year that the overall domestic budget to health should be increased much more than what it has been in the past. We had an Abuja declaration for 15%. We are not anywhere near that. But I know this year we had a little more than what it had been in previous years. And subsequently, we want to see much more domestic budget increase overall for the health sector. So I want to appreciate all of you for being here. This is a very important moment, and I hope that we will go by, we'll take away with us something that will change the overall narrative of health indices in Nigeria, particularly the maternal mortality, child and infant mortality, and child death rates in Nigeria. Thank you very much for being a part of this wonderful occasion.
Another round of applause for our distinguished senator. She spoke from the heart. We're moving on quickly, and we need to set the stage and objectives and expectations in the next 3 days. I'd like to invite an astute technocrat of public administration and health systems, and today the director of the Health Plan Research Department of the Federal Ministry of Health and Statistics, Dr. Camille. You can see that he's not even allowing me to introduce him. All right, come to the microphone. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on existing protocols. The stage is set for the 2024 annual joint annual review of the health sector. We have 3 objectives, and we have 3 expectations. Where the first objective is we are going to jointly review the performance of the health sector along the lines of the objectives of the Nigerian health sector renewal investment initiative that has been launched and been executed by the current administration with the full buy-in of our honorable commissioners of health and our 36 states and FCT. During the course of the next 2-3 days, we are also going to facilitate comprehensive discussion to examine this performance and make necessary inputs and recommendations that will speak to what will be discussed in the next few days. And also is an opportunity for us to deepen multi-sectoral collaboration and input. This collaboration across ministries, departments, and agencies that are contributing significantly to the health sector alignment and all that. Thank you. What are our expectations at the end of the discourse that will take us the next 3 days? It's for us to establish a clear baseline of key health outcomes to measure future progress against the Nigerian health sector renewal investments and initiatives objectives which we have set for ourselves, which we all agreed to pursue relentlessly. We also want to build a consensus on prioritized actions and stakeholders' role to drive these health sector renewal initiatives. And lastly, for us to enhance this multi-sectoral collaboration to align our support and secure sustainable health investments for the benefit of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the objectives, 3 of them, and 3 expectations. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Camille. Our next presenter, quickly, with 2 minutes, is the National Coordinator, SWAP Coordinating Office. Young, dynamic, intelligent. Please let's welcome him very warmly. He himself and his team has been able to put this together, working with us for less than 2 years, right? You have the mic.
Thank you very much. I will stand on existing protocols. I have just 2 minutes, so I'll try to make it brief. I wanted to take this opportunity to do take this opportunity to first really, acknowledge the leadership, from Mr. President, who signed a compact December last year that outlines our joint accountability framework, the plan through which all 36 states have now adopted through their annual operating plan. So for the first time, I think Nigeria can speak about one plan, which is an important principle of the sector-wide approach. I also wanted to acknowledge the leadership, I say the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, the Minister of Education, and the Minister of State for Health, and the leadership of all of our agencies, as well as our National Assembly stakeholders. What we have tried to do with the sector-wide approach really is to improve governance, converge resources, align efforts, and amplify the impact on population health outcomes. And we seek to do this by focusing on one plan, one budget, one report, and one conversation. Over the last year, we have prioritized our ability to implement what we all signed up to. We have had quarterly state dialogues focusing on 40 core indicators that represent our biggest bets in terms of drastically reducing maternal, neonatal, and under 5 mortality. The sector-wide approach really responds to some of these key structural and systemic challenges, where we are in terms of accountability, hyper-fragmentation, but having a laser focus on results. We are also excited to announce that the state of health reports that we're discussing today, which is an important milestone that Mr. President offered within this compact, is being delivered today. And the joint annual review will be an opportunity to go through these indicators and results. In addition, as part of our one budget, we have worked with most of the partners here to pool resources through several joint initiatives that we'll go on to also talk about. Under our one conversation, the joint annual review here, but also through technical working groups, we've been able to vet and harmonize our policy making abilities. I will stop here, but wanted to join everyone and congratulate everyone for the opportunity to, for the first time, have one vision, one plan, one report, and one conversation for the country. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mutaka. At this moment, Your Excellencies all, very, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring on the man of the moment, the Nigerian globalist, bringing the world best practices and resources to the service of better and sound health and welfare to all Nigerians. Together with him, his brother, who has just been elevated and moved on as Minister of Education. Please, let's put our hands together as I welcome the Coordinating Minister of Health and his brother together. They birthed what we are reviewing today. Please, let the applause be very loud. These are the young Nigerians.
Thank you. I think I'll let my brother, who is the Minister of Education, who will be doing our work of health in education, to start first. So, our Minister, maybe you can go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Coordinating Minister. And I won't take that much time because we have to go to FEC in the next 30 minutes. It's just very delightful to see this day. It was when we were starting about a little bit over 1 year ago. It was like if this was going to be impossible. But with the shared determination, commitment, dedication, and perseverance of the Coordinating Minister, we're seeing this today. Please, let's together give him a warm round of applause. Thank you, Honorable Zapata, for what you've done and what you continue to do for our country. Now, what is SWAP? SWAP is aligning our resources, harmonizing our efforts, and with joint accountability review. And when you put all these three components together, what do you get? You get the maximum effect of your investment on the health sector. Now, we're going to see the numbers today. At least we have baseline data to review. Because before all these data were not validated. We don't even believe our own data. But now we have some data to review, and during the course of the next few days, we'll be talking together and coming up with the next plan. So I thank everybody for coming, and this is a really big thing, a landmark achievement. Congratulations to everyone that has worked so hard to get us to this place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, the guest of honor, His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, the only hope of the nation, I believe that's what the Vice President called him, Senator Hope Ozodima, who is representing all the 36 state governors. My boss in the legislative side, Senator Banigo, who is chairman of the Joint Committee of the National Assembly, chairman of the House Committee on Health. My brothers, the Honorable Minister of Education and the Honorable Minister of State for Health, our royal fathers, royal majesties that are here, the Honorable Commissioners of Health that are here, and our esteemed development partners, the DGs, heads of agencies, members of the ministry, ladies and gentlemen, may I crave to stand on the existing protocol given the time that has passed. Before I say much, I'd like to really acknowledge the collective effort that has brought us to this day where we're having the first joint annual health review. And yes, we have an amazing team, Dr. Muntaka and his team, but this would not have been possible without the intense, close, collaborative effort, the co-creation with all the 36 state commissioners of health. And Dr. Banji Filani, the chairman of the Commissioners of Health Forum, I want to specifically acknowledge your leadership, along with all the 36 commissioners of health and the mandate secretary of the FCT, right from Ekiti to where we are today. I really commend you for your leadership, for your perseverance, and for your leaning with us to co-create this momentum in the Nigerian health sector today. So thank you, and thank you very much. And our development partners will be very patient with us as we undertake this journey of really leading and showing Nigeria's priorities, and you have been very supportive. The bilateral partners, the multilateral partners, the philanthropic organizations, the global health initiatives, we really thank you so much. and it is with great honor that I welcome all of you to this first health sector-wide joint annual review, where we interrogate our performance over the last year and launch interventions to address the identified challenges and recommit ourselves to improving the health of all Nigerians. Let me specifically use this occasion also to express our profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his incredible and visionary leadership, placing the health and social well-being of Nigerians as a core part of his renewed hope agenda, because the future of prosperity that he envisions requires a healthy, productive Nigerians. It requires us to harness the human capital, and I'm glad that my brother is now the Minister of Education, will drive that with all the gusto that we can. I thank the President, who has recognized that good health is core to harnessing Nigeria's greatest asset, our human capital, our population, particularly our young ones. He has demonstrated his commitment to ensuring that all Nigerians are on a path to achieving access to improved quality health services without financial hardship by significantly increasing the allocation of the federal government's budget to health and social sectors in 2024. This represents an unprecedented political will and will go a long way in addressing the financial gaps that have so far limited Nigeria from achieving an efficient, equitable, and quality health system. In the last 1 year, based on the data-driven diagnostic assessment of the health sector, we had developed the strategic blueprint with an overall goal to save lives, reduce both physical and financial pain, and produce health for all Nigerians. The blueprint comprises of 4 pillars of governance, improving population health outcomes through a health system, but also taking into account the preventive and promotive efforts to balance our efforts with a multi-sectoral mindset, which my brother, the Minister of State, has just alluded to bring that in a holistic manner to improve Nigeria's population health outcomes and to unlock the healthcare value chain and strengthen health security. The blueprint underpins the effort that we're making, but also the approach that we're taking collectively. And the President launched the initiative, and we signed the compact, which endorses the presentation of the annual report and the state of health report of all Nigerians. And for the first time, we are now fulfilling these 2 commitments of having the review, but also having the state of health report, which will be reviewed here. For every single commitment that we have so far made in the compact, we have had milestones as a result of those, which today we are announcing that we have made significant progress. And I'll mention a few. By Q3 of 2024, we've already met 31 out of 41 KPIs across the presidential commitments and are on course to surpass all our targets for 2024. The BHCPF 2.0 reform uses equity considerations now in distributing financial and human resources to over 8,000 primary health care centers through direct facilities, and 45 billion naira has already been disbursed through direct facilities to the states and to serve our population. We mobilized with our partners more than 3 billion in terms of complementary funding over 3 years, and including 2.1 billion that we have confirmed over time, which will complement the federal government's effort. And in the last year, several facilities have been revitalized already, and 2,600 are currently being at late stages of being upgraded through the states. And these are resources that we know will also help make our primary health care centers functional, and 2 additional 1,000 facilities will also be revitalized as part of this effort. As a demonstration of the President's commitment to improving the health workforce, we announced 120,000 frontline health workers to be retrained. More than 40,000 have so far been retrained, and we are on our way to meet and exceed the target. And through the SWAP coordinating office led by Dr. Muntaka, all the states have now developed their AOPs, costed them with gaps identified. So for our partners, that's the basis for aligning with us. On key population health outcomes, under 5 mortality, looking at the DHS data, has reduced by 16.7 from 2018 to late 2023 when the DHS was conducted. Significant improvement in infectious diseases, ranging from 40% reduction in diarrheal diseases, 24% reduction in TB, 12% in HIV. This is as a population. It's between the two DHSs, 2018 and 2023. So despite the pervasive sense that there are difficult challenges, but Nigeria is beginning to move, which with this political commitment, we can accelerate that in the right direction. And 17 states have already shown improved performance on model contraceptives, and 6 have already doubled. And I am pleased to say His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, who is here, his state is one of those states that has made demonstrable performance improvement in model contraceptive, as well as in state health insurance. And following the executive order signed by the President, we know that at least 40 businesses have placed business cases to invest in local manufacturing. And we've signed an MOU with Afrexim Bank for $1 billion credit line through the Afrexim. And our health security is also making progress. And in terms of perception, based on the survey that we conducted, the perception of Nigerians has improved. About half Nigerians has endorsed the trajectory of the Nigeria's health system in the direction that the President is taking us. And more than half are confident of the government's capacity to effectively manage health emergencies, an increase of 17% compared to 2023 People's Voices survey. The same thing applies to quality of maternal and child health services. Not perfect, but it's beginning to improve. The perception of poor quality is beginning to show a downward trend, mild as it may be. So it's not all doom and gloom, but we can also not relent on the basis of this performance. There are many areas that we have to improve. For instance, affordability of care. Despite the improvement that we have seen on health insurance on the public side, we need to do more to make healthcare affordable to Nigerians. And the DG NHI is working tirelessly towards that. Broader elements of quality of care, the respectful care, and the user experience, which we know that there is some progress, but we do need to do a lot more. The coverage of children with 0 dose, we've seen an uptick, and we need to work harder to bring down the 0 doses and to increase our routine immunization, given the tepid, mild increase that we have seen between the two DHSs. The rate of stunting is also another area. Malnutrition, we've seen an uptick, and we need to double down on those areas. And in response to these numbers, it is not just about the numbers. There are people, there are families, there are children, there are women, there are poor persons, and people being pushed into poverty because of that. So it's not about the statistics, but that there are people and families and communities affected, and we respect that. And we will double our efforts in response to those findings in line with the President's agenda. Specifically, in response to the unacceptably high maternal mortality, we've identified the 174 local governments all over Nigeria that account for 50% of maternal deaths in Nigeria. And we developed the Maternal and Newborn Mortality Reduction Investment Initiative as a specific response how we want to crush maternal mortality in this country. And it is possible, given what we have seen in terms of the direction of our travel. The State of Health report shows that if we still have challenges, particularly with data sources and also in execution, but we will work our way through those, and we commit to ensuring that we have single source of truth in terms of good quality information to tell us where we are and to improve our investments as federal government, but with the states alongside us. And we will continue to have joint reviews, the performance dialogue with all the states. And I call on my colleagues, the Minister of Finance, Minister of Budget, and I know the DG of Budget was here, that in 2025, the health sector, and I dare say the education sector, and other social sectors need to continue to enjoy this increase in domestic budget, just as we call on all state governors to particularly look at 2025 budget and allocate more resources to the health sector and to other sectors that have bearing on improving population health outcomes. I will call all of us to action because the task ahead of us is huge, but it requires our collective efforts, and we can do this through genuine partnerships that are respectful. We call on all of government and all of society approach, including our development partners, the Friends of Nigeria, to continue to work with us, to be patient with us as we chart a path towards improving the health of all Nigerians. From the federal government, I assure you the President is very committed to continuing prioritization of health in line with the principles and commitments of the sector-wide compact that we signed. To our state governors, I really would like to commend all of the state governors for their leaning in, especially in the last 15 months, to work with us. Your Excellency, can you convey our appreciation to all the 36 state governors for their attention to primary health care, immunization, nutrition, and other areas, working with us very closely. And to our development partners, I really want to also single you out to appreciate you as well for your efforts in making those shifts towards the swap behaviors and the code of conduct. We seek stronger convergence of our financing and your financing of the technical support towards our priorities, recognizing that we have revamped annual operational plans developed by the states bottom up, and that the priority 172 local governments are already identified for crashing maternal mortality, and all of you have a role to play in this. And following our resource coordination and portfolio review, we also ask our development partners to individually share with us, with the Swap Coordination Office, their roadmap for strengthening the alignment as part of this compact. And for our citizens, in line with the President's overall direction, we want you to hold us and your state governments and local governments accountable for providing improved quality health services and basic services that we need as a people to create a healthier nation. We also recognize the efforts of our past health leaders. There are several ministers of health whose work we are building upon, from Olikoye Ransom Kuti to Eitai Lambo to late Professor Oshochimehin to Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, who I believe is coming here or is already here, to Professor Isaac Adewale, to Dr. Osage Ohanire, who we expect to be part of this joint review. They have sent their videos, and some of them will be with us. We're building on the legacy of several ministers of health that have come before us, and my colleagues, Dr. Arausa, as well as the current Minister of State, and many of us, and many leaders across different agencies. So we're building the institutions in health, but building on the work of so many others who have come before us. And I would like us to really take a moment to appreciate all of them and the numerous health workers all across our country who have spent time, effort, whether on polio, whether on diphtheria, or delivering women over time, and that will continue to build on their efforts. During this review, we are also launching the not only health report, but the public perception survey that we have conducted. Alongside, we are launching the Health Vulnerability and Adaptation Report, which sets our core priorities over the coming years to address the consequences of climate change and health, because it's so important that we think about the challenges of our future. And I'm so glad my colleague, the Minister of State, is coming from Environment, and this report is coming at a very good time, because as we improve population outcomes, we also need to look at the intersection with climate, and we are also launching that as part of this joint review. And I would like to say that the lives of Nigerians, particularly women and children, is at stake, and the poorest among ourselves. We must do everything we can to safeguard them, and we will be relentless in our resolve to deliver an efficient, equitable, and quality health system for all Nigerians. By the grace of God, we shall succeed in doing so. And I want to thank again the President, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May I also just, while I have the podium, say that the State Health Scorecard, this is a scorecard for every state of the Federation based on the DHS data, which disaggregates the performance and color codes it. It's not to judge on any state, but to show where we are so that we can work towards improving them. And we had shared this with all the states a week ago, and we urge all Nigerians to use this as a basis of dialogue, not to judge, but for learning what is working and what is not working. And this report is also available. The State of Health Report, this is the JAR edition of the State of Health Report. We will use the input and we'll review it chapter by chapter as part of the joint annual review. After the joint review, the team will revise it and will finalize it to present to His Excellency, Mr. President, and to the leadership of the National Assembly, as well as broadly to all Nigerians, so that we know where we are today. So thank you once again, and I wish us all a very productive joint annual review. Thank you.
Very explicit, very insightful, and is carrying all of us along. We all have full responsibility going forward and changing the narrative for the health sector in Nigeria. Another very loud round of applause for health. Your Excellencies, all very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the coordinating minister have said cannot be achieved in Abuja. The subnational becomes the imperative to making a new wave for health sector to work for the people in Nigeria. The Nigerian Governors Forum have been very supportive of this. We recall that they have signed onto SWAP, and they are very eager to change the situation in healthcare. And so, in the spirit of hope, renewed hope, as presented by Mr. President, is a man whose name is Hope and has lived up to it. I'd like to bring on the representation of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the chairman, who is not with us but is with us, a man, his people have noted him for his charisma and passion. No wonder they gave him a landslide victory.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. The distinguished Senator Banigo Ipalebo Harry, Chairman Senate Committee on Health. Your Excellency Professor Ali Pate, Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare. Dr. Tunji Alausa, Honorable Minister for Education. Dr. Isiak Adekunle Salako, the Minister of State for Health. Permanent Secretaries, indeed the management of Federal Ministry of Health, not forgetting Honorable Dennis Idahosa, Chairman House Committee on Health, and other members of the National Assembly in our midst. I want to acknowledge the presence of the critical stakeholders in our midst. For want of time, I will also acknowledge the Special Advisor to Mr. President on Health, and then the Committee of Commissioners of Health from the various states of the Federation. Our Royal Fathers, I greet all of you, and all the development partners, such as the WHO, UNICEF, NHIS, NACA, and the other organizations. Distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very highly delighted to address you today on behalf of the Nigerian Governors Forum in place of the chairman, who is unavoidable absent. The occasion of the joint annual review of the health sector, which is being organized by the Federal Ministry of Health under the leadership of our dear brother, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare. Let me begin by commending the Honorable Minister for his visionary leadership, resourcefulness, spirit of partnership since assuming his role as the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare. The level of cooperation we are witnessing now under his leadership between the Federal Ministry of Health and the subnational government is unprecedented and very impressive. No wonder, as you are aware, the current Minister of Health is one of our best and brightest in Nigeria with a global name recognition. This close collaboration is vital to achieving the progress we so urgently need in Nigeria's health sector. And I encourage the Minister to continue in this direction. One of the landmark initiatives introduced by the federal government to enhance synergy and efficiency in the health sector is the sector-wide approach, SWAP, which promotes one budget, one plan, one conversation, and one report. This approach was further solidified by the signing of the Health Sector Renewal Compact by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Coordinating Minister of Health, all the 36 governors, and our development partners on December 12, 2023. The signing of this compact is a powerful demonstration of our collective commitment to universal health coverage and underscores the critical importance of collaboration between the federal government, the states, and local government areas to achieve our health goals. The recent results of the Nigerian Demographic and Health Survey reinforce why this collaboration is essential. Although there have been some improvements in health indicators, particularly in reducing under 5 and infant mortality rates, these figures remain unacceptably high. Moreover, we have seen worsening trends in neonatal mortality and malnutrition. These statistics highlight the urgency of our work and make the signing of the Health Renewal Compact timely and crucial. We must continue to work together, recognizing the unique challenges each state faces, while maintaining our shared focus on achieving better health outcomes for all Nigerians. I would also like to commend the Federal Ministry of Health for its continued effort to translate the compact into action. The series of engagements carried out across all 36 states have ensured that key stakeholders are aligned on the sector-wide approach and understands the roles in its success. The recent joint performance dialogue held in June 2024, along with the support given to ensure that the 2025 annual operational plan aligns with the health sector strategic blueprint, are further evidence of the ministry's commitment to keeping subnational governments engaged and focused on a common agenda to strengthen our healthcare system. It is also worth noting the critical role being played by our development partners in supporting the sector-wide approach. Their cooperation is critical towards reducing program fragmentation and maximizing resource efficiency. I am confident that our partners will continue to bring best practices from other countries, particularly those with governance systems similar to Nigeria's, to help strengthen our approach. Today's joint annual review marks another important step in advancing one conversation element of the SWAP. This review provides a valuable opportunity for all levels of government and our partners to jointly assess our progress, reinforce best practices, and identify corrective actions where needed. It is through this shared commitment to accountability and transparency that we will continue to push forward towards achieving our common goals. We therefore encourage us all to engage in open, candid discussions, compare insights, and learn from one another. Before I conclude, I wish to reiterate the commitment of the Nigerian Governors Forum to the intent and spirit of the Health Sector Compact. The role of the Nigerian Governors Forum has been clearly outlined, and I want to assure my dear brother, the Honorable Minister, and all stakeholders that we will continue to honor our commitments. We also expect that all partners will do the same. On our part, the Nigerian Governors Forum Secretariat is diligently tracking the NGF's commitment through a scorecard, which keeps all governors informed about the progress of the implementation. Finally, I want to thank all of you for your dedication and collaboration in improving healthcare for Nigerians. Together, we will build a more resilient, more inclusive, and more effective healthcare system that meets the needs of our people. I want to thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you all.
Our Imo, Your Excellency, thank you so very much. Thank you for the assurances to keep on keeping. Another round of applause before some of the ministers will leave us for FEC. Can we quickly have a group photograph here? Can we have a group photograph? The first front row, please. A group photograph. Can we have our royal father's seat and our father's CSO, please, Dr. Lekki. Thank you. The partners, please. The partners, please. Partners, please.
Okay, so
Do you know the name of the document?
she said.